Hey guys, I'm Joat. We're going to play some Imperial Galactic Survival. So once you've gotten it through Steam, we're currently on, based off the patch notes, version 1.8.3. So let's go ahead and kind of get started. We have resume game, start game, join a game. Not really a multiplayer guy. I generally speaking prefer single player. So we're going to click start game, single player. And we have our options of survival, scenario, creative, or freedom. We're going to choose a survival game. Let's go ahead and give it a name. We're going to call it Joatmon Season 1, Episode 1, version 1.8. Yeah, there we go. We're going to randomize the seed. I don't know that it actually affects anything, but that's what we're going to do. Difficulty settings. So these are the preset difficulties. I'm going to leave most of them as normal. Starting equipment, medium. Keep inventory and death, nothing. You can switch these, but nothing. Player progression, normal. Degradation speed, normal. I'll be honest, the player progression is way too fast at the beginning of the game, and then it moderates out as you're trying to get into tier 2, tier 3 stuff, in my opinion at least. Food consumption, normal. Oxygen, normal. Temperature and radiation, normal. Ore deposits, number of ores deposits, normal. Auto miner depletion, I'm going to switch that to false just in case we do get pretty deep into this season, and I'm going to use auto miner, and because we're playing single player, I just don't want to move them. Enemy difficulty at normal. Overall drone presence, normal. Drone base attack, normal. Constructor craft speed, normal. Blueprint repair speed, I'm going to switch this to instant in my game. Whenever I pull something from the factory, it'll spawn instantly. Take that for what it's worth. Blueprint spawn limit is false. Block limit for certain devices false. I do prefer playing with check mass volume and CPU points turned on, but that's up to you. It's a much easier game without it. The only other thing that we have the temperate planet, a cold planet, a hot planet, and a swamp planet. The hot planet also has radiation. I think now we'll do a temperate planet just because this is supposed to be a beginner playthrough. The type is temperate. Planet's difficulty is easy. Gravity at 1.02. Minimum max temperature, no radiation. Atmospheric density, O2 concentration. Yes, it's breathable. These are the resources, the subterranean resources that'll be available, and there are no meteorites. So let's get this started and have some fun. I really enjoy, I can spend hours just kind of going through some of these survival games. It's fun. This game has a very unique approach at inventory management with logistics and Wi-Fi that I think is phenomenal. And the way this game, excuse me, the way this game approaches crafting ships is 100% unique to any other game that I've ever played. We'll get into that as we progress.
Emergency situation detected. Robinson Protocol UCH001A initiated. Do you want to activate the tutorial help information system?
So I'm not going to activate this. Feel free. Not something I'm going to do. So there's our crash pod, and here's our survival gear that it's given us. I'm going to hit tab. Excuse me. I'm going to hit the tab button and go through some stuff. This is our toolbar. I'm going to take some of this stuff and rearrange it. Just for where I want it to be. We have a PDA up here, some food, and some bandages. It's my opinion that this stuff is stored best in your body. So we have 250 of 500 health. We have 246 of 500 food. Completely maxed out on stamina and 0 oxygen. Luckily, we've landed on a temperate planet that has breathable oxygen. These items, I can bring them down into my toolbar, click the appropriate number, and then left click and consume one. I typically leave them on my menu, hover over them, right click to consume. I think that food's best stored in your body. Go ahead and use these up. We're going to make a bunch more. Not quite as much in a hurry in a temperate start as we are on an arid start or swamp start or cold start. These are plant proteins. I can pick them up, go back to my menu, and I've got 2 plant proteins. These protein bars take 2 plant proteins. I can click on it. It starts in my little personal constructor that's hidden somewhere on my body. And consume that, and we got more food. So we see these nodes all lying around. Let's grab another one of these plant proteins and press F to pick up. Notice I got 2 plant proteins on the left and also 100 experience. So the game really just kind of throws resources at you here at the beginning of the
Commander,
game.
I am tracking a faint electromagnetic signal not far away. We should investigate, as it might be another escape pod or even a trace of the fleet.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and mark that on my HUD. Out of probably sheer habit, source of signal located, marker added to radar and HUD. So my top right, there's a little radar up there, and there's a yellow dot, and there's my scientist camp, 561. We'll mosey over there as we proceed. So my crosshairs are white. Now I'm on a targetable item, so I've got my survival tool in my hand. If I right-click, the survival tool has 3 modes: defense, salvage, and resource. This is a resource. It's, now that I'm hovered over it, bottom right, the resource info has 20 hit points. Picked up 50 experience and 4 plant fibers. This resource is carbon bearing, also 20 hit points. The beginning here, I'm just going to be picking up everything. Some of it we won't use. I just want the experience, honestly, to get to these first, specifically the first 3 levels. Open up some items in our tech tree, which we'll get to shortly. Level 2. I feel like they could cut the resources in the starting area by 2/3 and it still be an enjoyable game, but there's a lot here. Luckily, the survival tool doesn't require any ammunition or power or anything. Now, this is another resource. Notice it's got 55 hit points. I know that it's a larger tree. The only problem with that right now is if I source this, I got 3 logs. And these logs take up a lot of volume, 10 units. So 30 units in that. There's 3 of them. Like this carbon substrate is 0.12, 0.10. It's just a lot. I'm going to trash it. We'll get some trees later. We definitely need it. Just not right now. I got an explorer token there because I picked up some iron ore for the first time. As we pick up unique ores, it'll give us an explorer token, which once we get to a couple of trading stations, we can trade those in for those explorer tokens in for some items. This is copper. That's the resource info is copper bearing. That is a resource that bears copper. Another explorer token. Yeah, I like the fresh aspect of a brand new save on a survival game. Yeah, waking up naked and go punch some trees, right? Just kind of starting this process. Copper's good for ammo, weapons, well, really everything, but at the beginning, that's what we'll need it for. That was silicon. I should get another explorer's token. There it is. This is plant fibers, just like the small trees that we were salvaging earlier. Level 3. Let's see how much food I've got. I got 36 and 31. Let's get a little bit more. I'll get my crafting going on some bandages and food. There's really, I haven't noticed any animals at all. in these beginning areas, much less anything that's aggressive. Even in 1.7, there would have been some bugs, but they really weren't very aggressive. However, in this game, when you do find those bugs, they seem to be quite aggressive. Will definitely sneak up on you, especially if you're used to them being fairly docile. So again, just kind of picking up everything that I see. These bones, you can take them down. They don't seem to yield anything except for some experience, so unless they're in your way, I would rather spend my time harvesting something that also yielded experience. Heading back towards the crash pod. So much for heading towards the scientist camp. My plan is to kind of pick up everything, gain some experience and some basic resources while meandering towards that scientist camp. Try and get there by dark. Top right in that radar, you see the weather conditions are clear, and you can see that the biome we're in is the crash site. And then it also says that it's 6 hours and 2 game minutes, now 1 game minutes until sunset. It will be very dark at sunset. It'll be very difficult to get anything done at sunset until we have some armor created. But without the use of an armor locker, that's really a pretty easy thing to accomplish once we get set up. The armor locker thing, I thought it was kind of janky that I needed an armor locker to put on my armor. But it was a game mechanic that tried to let you not get armor too easy too quick. And switching out armors later in the game, you needed to have facilities to do that. But later in the game, having those facilities is just not hard at all. So removing it makes sense to me. However, I think they should have left now I no longer see the point of an armor locker. I think they should have left it so that when you change out your boosts, the EVA boost, the radiation boost, the multi-boost, that you still needed an armor locker to make modifications to the suit. But what do I know? Let's see if we can identify that resource over there. So once I'm close enough, if I were to walk away from that, it'll just disappear. Once I'm close enough to that resource, it'll identify. We can hit the detector and see if it'll pick it up. I don't think it will. Yeah. Once I'm close enough, it'll stay on my menu, on my map. Well, not on the HUD, but on the map. Press M for map. It'll stay right there. If I get too far away, it'll just disappear. 150 should get it. There's a copper deposit. I'll come back for you later. 700 meters away. That's cool. Let's see what we got. So we're going to go ahead and do... we'll do 40 of those, and then whatever's left over can go into protein bars. Hey, how you doing? Won't let me harvest that tree. Some of that targeting stuff has kind of always, in my opinion, always been in the game, just minor glitches. Generally speaking, I don't find this game very glitchy. This particular one, this version 1.8, seems to have a lot of weird things. Every time I've played it in 1.8, I've had a hole in the moon or something. So we got some bandages cooking as we still continue to get further away from the scientist camp. We don't have to go there. We humans seem to be creatures of habit. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and hit the F3 for the tech tree. And just go into the... So we have base, capital vessel, small vessel, hover vessel, miscellaneous tools, and weapons. I'm going to go into miscellaneous, go and unlock this portable constructor and the portable heater cooler. And then go into tools. I'm going to go ahead and unlock the multi-tool, the ore scanner, shotgun, and assault rifle. Just so that I've got it unlocked. We'll be making them shortly. This is cooking up just fine. Oh, we don't have nearly as much fiber as I thought. Must have seen another resource on there that I thought I had more of. That's all right. There's some more fiber. It is a pretty game. I do feel like they've spent all of their time beautifying this specific world. The other worlds just don't seem quite as fleshed out. But this world, this temperate moon, is quite pretty. Oh, heck, I thought we'd already cleared out that valley. Obviously, not even close. I'm not much of a builder. I'll leave that up to the guys that are good at it. Jay Randall, Spange, shout out to both those guys. Make some beautiful ships, really cool stuff. I'm going to politely steal theirs. I do tend to grab a ship that I want out of the Steam Workshop and then pull it in creative mode and then make some modifications to it to kind of make it my own or whatever. I'm sure that the ships probably flew better, more better in general before I touched them, but they make them pretty. Really good stuff. I'll start a starter SV that I pulled from Weekend Warrior. That dude, you want to watch some videos of a guy that can quickly and efficiently get started, take down a POI, and not get touched once. He's your guy. Go swing by Weekend Warrior's stuff. I don't think he's made anything for 1.8, but he's got some 1.7 stuff that I really enjoy watching his videos. The soothing sensation are the new butterflies on this planet. When you're close by them, they will heal you. I guess it's kind of cool. It doesn't benefit combat in any way. Not that everything has to benefit combat, but once you're off this planet, I don't know that you're ever going to see them again. And the goal here, more now than in 1.7, is to get the crap off this planet, or moon. That's going to take some getting used to. So for those of you who don't know and played 1.7, that starter system, that starter planet, those quest lines, etc., they're all still in the game. You just got to get off this moon and get to it. So you need a warp-capable vessel or go through the quest line that'll teleport you there. The problem with going through the quest line and teleporting there is you lose everything that you left here, that you've made for 3 or 4 in-game days, or 2 or 3 in-game days, depending on your speed and efficiency. You're leaving that here. So I've tended to make a warp-capable vessel and just head off to Omicron and not leave all of my stuff. Once we get set up and start going through the quest a little bit, they do give you a really pretty nice base. It's right at the beginning. It's a little difficult to get in and out of, but just from layout setup, it's pretty solid. A large constructor right from the beginning makes it easy to craft a drill, so you don't have to wait forever for the survival tool as you're hand mining. I do feel like this biome, well, not biome, this moon doesn't really have anything in the way of active POIs in it. So once I get somewhat established, I'll head over to Skillin and definitely hear a bug. Huh. And do some of those POIs just for the resources and experience, for that matter. Oh, I'm going to discover the talent. I didn't really want to, but it's not that big of a deal. I am going to leave these energy bars here. They have a perish time of 90. As long as they stay in this output portion of your personal constructor, they don't deteriorate. You don't. I'll probably say something similar to this oftentimes, but you don't need food till you need food, and then you really need food. As long as I keep my food over 450, I'll receive a buff that'll help heal in the background. Again, not something really for combat, but at the beginning here, you're going to take a couple of boops, and it's easy to have it heal in the background. With your food's not over 450, I don't believe it heals at all. So those rocks are cobalt. We'll go take a look at them. The game does not want you to mine it with this. And if the game doesn't want you to do something, they will do their best at making it difficult. This rock has 1,000 hit points. I do need cobalt, but I'm just going to yield 2 ores. It's going to take me a little while to get that, so that is not how I'm going to get cobalt. And the way the sun comes in on this game, I think, is really well done too. Just the reflections and through the trees. Can't believe I tried to grab that flower. Yeah, part of the beginning of this is just kind of recognizing what's what, just like in any game, what the resources look like. They did just change the models for all these resources. I do like the fact that while the models are the same, every time you see an iron-bearing surface, there's one of those bugs. So I can walk backwards faster than he can run. But they are sneaky little guys. Where'd he go? Where'd who go? I think this is the first time I've been this close to any of the starting stuff. Maybe it's because of that POI over there. And seeing those bugs in since 1.8. But that's cool. I just wanted the experience. I'll even use the meat. But so while the models changed, in 1.7, they would be identical all the time. And while the models are the same, they will resize in different areas, which just offers some breakup. But to be honest with you, you're really not even going to fool around with these surface nodes after very much. They're just more time consuming than they're worth. You'll be salvaging or mining asteroids. I'm torn between that, by the way. I actually enjoy the mining aspect of this game, the way it's done. It's soothing. I reload ammo for like pistol and rifle competitions, and that concept of sitting down and doing the repetitive task over and over again and it all kind of adding up is therapeutic in my opinion. But hand mining an asteroid for an hour is not something I'm interested in either. But that's another aspect of this game. You don't have to mine anything. I mean, here at the beginning, you would need to mine these surface nodes. But like Weekend Warrior, his goal, he hates mining. At least that's what I gather from his videos. He tends to salvage everything and mine nothing, which is an option. Now, let's go ahead and get set up here. Let's not get set up because I forgot to make some stuff. I'm going to make 3 personal portable constructors and 2 heaters. I'm going to leave those guys in there and let that kind of craft up for till dusk. We'll head back out and see if we can't get some more nodes. That's what I get for being distracted. Talking to you guys, messed up my own plan. However, none of it is important. Inconvenient at best. Carbon can be a problem in this game at the beginning. Now. But I'm sure we can figure something out. I got one yet? I got one. Well, I'll have one by the time I'm back over there. Yeah, this little base camp that I'm going to set up at the scientist camp, you can do that anywhere on this planet. Temperature is not generally a concern. There are specific places on this planet at night and a couple of places during the day where it's going to be too cold and you can get hypothermia and have problems, but you could set up this little base camp anywhere you wanted, honestly. Alright, so we're going to put that in my toolbar. We're going to drop that We're going to put it right there. Now we're going to put everything in that. Go back to the tech tree. We picked up another level or two, maybe. And under weapons down here, I'm going to choose the light armor. I'm going to go and grab the sniper rifle and the explosive device. That's really about it that I want. You'll get enough points through leveling. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Gatling gun for later. You'll get enough points through leveling to unlock everything. But when you do need to craft something, if you don't have something to craft it with, you'll need the points. And if you don't go through and just get everything, because when you need something, you're going to need those points. Just take what you need as you need it. While it's getting dark, we're going to kind of head back out. We really have nothing in our inventory. I didn't explain what I just did there. Basically, I have it started crafting a suit of armor and some weapons and some ammo. I probably should have explained that while I did it, but didn't, so we'll get another shot at it here in a second. So now that it's getting dark, I'm just going to go get logs. They take up a lot of space in my inventory, so I'm just going to fill up my inventory completely. With these logs, I can make quite a bit of biofuel, which will be my first fuel source for the first base and my SV once we spawn that in. Once I kind of have the night set up and a little bit of fuel going and some armor and weapon, just basic necessities for lack of a better term, we'll probably call this first episode complete. It's dark. You can't even tell that rock's there, much less that it's the difference between copper or carbon. And we're full. So it's 10:31 and 10 hours and 31 minutes until sunset. Sunrise, rather. Sorry. And our... Well, not full, but we have 485 of 500, but those logs combined were too voluminous, too high in volume to pick up. So now I have two portable constructors up, and I'm going to just throw all these logs in here. Biofuel, I can left click, put it in my construction queue. It'll pull plant fibers. You'll notice that plant fibers are crafted from wood logs. We have wood logs. The crafting system is smart enough to know if you have the items in your input to craft the sub items. So I clicked it once, it gave me 1 in the queue. If I hold down the shift button and left click, it gives me 10. If I hold down the control button, it'll give me 100. And if I hold shift and control and click, it gives me 1,000. So I don't have enough resources in there to make 1,000. It'll just stop whenever it can't make anymore. So here's my assault rifle now completed. I'm going to take that out and throw it right there, but my assault rifle has got no ammo. So I made ammo for it, and this is a projectile rifle round. Sometimes, if you just pull it back up, it'll bring that timer back up. 400's quite a few. I don't necessarily need 400 right at the moment, but we're going to go ahead and come in here. We have some food to make, so I'm going to go into food and choose grilled steak. I can make 2 of them. And then medicine, well, I can make 8 herbal leaves and plant protein. I can make 8 of those. We'll make 4. I do want to go ahead and get some anti-radiation ointment and some anti-toxic ointment, but I'm missing alien tooth, and here I'm missing mushrooms. So as you can see, it was crafting the subcomponents, and now it's crafting the light armor, and the next is the ore scanner, and next is the meat, and next is, and next is, and next is, and next is. So while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and we'll use the flashlight. It's pretty cool. So this is the flashlight. Ooh, now I can see. However, in this game, I can't both hold the flashlight and a weapon at the same time. I mean, I can craft weapons and armor and guns. It's some portable constructor that's on my person somehow, but I can't hold the flashlight. So we have a couple things here. We have the obelisk, which we don't know anything about except it grunted at us as we approached. A multi-charge. Yes, please. There's another one here. Some, in an ode to Span, some bits and bobs. So we were in resource earlier. We've used defense against those couple of bugs. I'm going to go ahead and go into salvage mode. So these physical items or blocks, I can salvage them. Again, the hit points are going down on the right. See what we get. Gave us 4 steel plates. And 4 steel plates. That's all I'm going to salvage from this. Oh, we have armor. So now, hit my menu, come into the armor and drop it on, and excuse me. And I'm going to remove this flashlight. I'm actually going to trash it. The suit of armor has a flashlight built in, so I can, oops, hold a weapon and have a flashlight. Also, bottom right, there's some emblems across the top. The grayed out Jump Pack Man helmet and O2. The O2 is lit up. The O2 is lit up because we're in a breathable atmosphere. The helmet is on because I'm wearing my helmet. If I hit the U button, I take it off. And if I go to my menu for my avatar, you can see that he's not wearing a helmet. If I click it on, it's back on. I tend to leave it on. Otherwise, when I do go out to space or go underwater, I guarantee you that I'll forget to put it back on and have some sort of complication. So the Jetpack Man is also grayed out. Now that I have an armor suit on, I can hit the J button and activate this jetpack. Now, you saw it deplete rather quickly. You can get boosts to increase that, but generally speaking, this works out pretty well for me. Let's see what else is done cooked up. So the ore scanner really used to serve very little real purpose. I'm just going to shift right click this out of the menu. And we'll do it again. I couldn't find a purpose for it. In this game, in this version rather, as long as you have it in your inventory, the only logical, or the only required reason that I see it is for Promethium ores. It'll make it much easier to find Promethium ores. We'll see that once we get to it. No need to do that. We'll start this quest line a little bit. Tales of Tash, damaged data pad. Now that it's out, damaged private data device found. Reconstruction of the information in the buffer memory has been partially successful. Should the existing data be read out? I'm going to click yes, but it ain't going to read crap to me. So Tashaki Talon log 1, we have been studying the artifacts for several years now. There are 4 of them. 1 obelisk on each moon of this gas giant. We have set up camp at each artifact and collect data without end, without making any real progress. The most boring job in the galaxy, but what else are you can do to get ahead? The Xerox is stationed near Krogum here. As protection, they said, more like watchdogs, I think. They think the artifacts could be useful in the fight against the Silence, but at the moment, we're in the dark. We're missing something. So we'll close both of those out, and it will have taken that second data pad out of our inventory. We have a little bit. So this is their scientist station to try and figure out what the crap's going on there. What else do we got? I need some carbon. I'm going to right-click to pick up half of it. Go back into my menu. It stopped the completion of this last portable constructor because I had emptied everything into here and it no longer had the resources. Out of habit, I'm also going to make 4 water O2 condensers so we can start crafting some oxygen so that we will have some available when we do go to space. I'm going to make one more trip for wood. It's night. And then, one more thing. Well, that's cooking. Oh, there's nothing cooking here. So I'm going to make the motorbike for this beginning stages. So we'll go through this real quick. These are filters. So if you want to filter only items available for the hover ship, items for the capital ships, items for the small vessel, items for the base, or all. And these are sub-filters to that. So this is decoration, components? No, devices. What's it called? This is components. Devices, building blocks, weapons and armor, medicine, and food. So I'm going to click one of those. It's going to automatically sub-craft the component of the motorbike construction kit and then construct a motorbike. Throw that on my toolbar, pick it up, and go beat down some trees. Because we got a little bit of room. Let's just come all the way over here because there's more condensed. We should get through a little faster. Still 80 degrees outside. Temperature is not an issue. 1.8, 1.7 rather, as soon as you walked away from that beginning little base camp, I felt like I was always fighting cold even in the temper, at least at the beginning, as a newer player. That's why I constructed a couple of those space heater coolers just to have on my possession when I need it. That gives us a full inventory. Up on this bike, it is not an agile machine, and I can't pick it up to turn it around because my inventory is full. Had I thought far enough ahead, I would have turned it around before I started picking up the logs. So now, F to get off. Come into my little biofuel making machine. We've got 11 of 1100. So that's that. Shift F to pick that bad boy up. I'm going to go ahead and pick up these location items. Just mark them all on my HUD. And I think I can hit V for third person. Alt to move it out. Yeah, that'll work. Well, guys, I think that's it for this. I'll get this edited and uploaded. Let me know what I did wrong, and we'll work on the second one. Thanks, guys.